Welcome to my presentation on global warming. So what is global warming? Global warming or climate change refers to long-term changes in temperatures and weather patterns. Although these shifts can be natural, human activities have been the main driver of global warming since the 1800s through the process of burning fossil fuels, such as gases and coals. Global warming occurs when carbon dioxide and other air pollutants collect in the atmosphere and absorb sunlight and solar radiation that have bounced off of the Earth's surface. Normally, this radiation would escape into space, but these pollutants, which can last for years to centuries in the atmosphere, trap the heat and cause the planet to get hotter. These pollutants are known as greenhouse gases, and the impact that they have on the Earth is known as the greenhouse effect. So why is global warming a topic of interest to the general public? Large majorities of people believe and understand that global warming will lead to an array of negative effects for the Earth's ecosystems. A new global survey illustrates the depth of anxiety that many young people are feeling about climate change. Almost 60% of young people approached and said that they are very worried or extremely worried. More than 45% of those questioned said the feelings about climate change affected their daily lives. And almost 3/4 of them stated that they thought the future was frightening. Over half said that they think humanity is doomed. The survey across 10 countries was led by Bath University in collaboration with 5 other universities. Responses came from 10,000 people aged between 16 and 25 years old. Many respondents perceive that they have no future, whilst many feel betrayed and ignored. People are worried that climate change is going to impact their lives. 72% of people from separate surveys conducted by Pew Research Center are somewhat concerned that global climate change will harm them personally at some point in their lifetime. Only 27% were not concerned. So what is the current state of knowledge with regards to global warming? The latest report warns that atmospheric levels of the 3 main greenhouse gases, which are carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide, reached new record highs in 2021, showing the biggest year-on-year jump in methane concentrations since systematic measurements began nearly 40 years ago. Atmospheric carbon dioxide reached 149% of the pre-industrial level in 2021. Primarily because of emissions from the combustion of fossil fuels and cement production. Global emissions have rebounded since the COVID-related lockdowns in 2020. Of the total emissions from human activities during the 2011 to 2020 period, about 48% of them accumulated in the atmosphere, 26% in the ocean, and 29% on land. Since 2007, globally averaged atmospheric methane concentration has been increasing at an accelerating rate. The annual increases in 2020 and 2021 are the largest since the systematic record began in 1983. Nitrous oxide is the third most important greenhouse gas. It is emitted into the atmosphere from both natural sources and anthropogenic sources, including oceans, soils, biomass burning, fertilizer use, and various industrial processes. The increase from 2020 to 2021 was slightly higher than that observed from the 2019 to 2020, and higher than the average annual growth rate over the past 10 years. WMO's Greenhouse Gas Bulletin reported the biggest year-on-year jump in methane concentrations in both 2020 and 2021 since systematic measurements began nearly 40 years ago. The reason for this exceptional increase is not clear, but seems to be a result of both biological and human-induced processes. So what are some controversies with regards to global warming? The Earth's climate is always changing, and this is nothing to do with humans. Carbon dioxide only makes up a small part of the atmosphere, and so cannot be responsible for global warming. Rises in the levels of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere are the result of increased temperatures, not the other way around. Observations of temperatures taken by weather balloons and satellites do not support the theory of global warming. The scale of negative effects of climate change is often overstated, and there is no need for urgent action. So where are things going in terms of global warming? A new report from Pew Research Center shows 80% of people are willing to make changes to how they work and live to reduce the effects of global climate change. The data comes from 18,850 people in advanced economies. Nick Bridge said concerns are going up, and that is because our scientific understanding is elaborating all the time, and we're hearing and seeing absolutely shocking events all over the world that are now baked in. The concern is going up for good reason.